Welcome to We Are Venomaniacs, the Venom site's official podcast for all of your symbiote news, reviews, and point of views. My name is Orion, and I'm joined by my fellow co-hosts, Carlos.
I am back with the passion.
Tyler.
I'm here, just slightly less passionate.
And Aaron.
Hello, I am here, I guess.
Yes. So, it's week 10 of our Absolute Carnage podcast series in which we cover the event's latest comics and tie-ins. Today, we're reviewing Absolute Carnage, Miles Morales number 3, and Amazing Spider-Man number 31. So, we're going to start with the final issue of the Miles Morales tie-in, in which, I don't know, it seems like the story is not quite done.
Yeah, this series, I don't think really needed to be a 3-issue miniseries. Like, I mean, not a lot happens, honestly. Like, you could have just had this one, and just like a one-shot, you know? It's like Miles,
especially with
Miles
the fact
has a
that
symbiote. Yeah. So
in Absolute Carnage number 2, it already validates most of the first issue. We didn't really need to see it happen again from Miles' point of view.
Right, so you could have had like like Miles going after Jameson, and then they fight, and at the very end, like he has the symbiote form. Like this really didn't have to be 3 issues. Like you really didn't need to have Silver Sable either. You know,
she did nothing in this. She did absolutely nothing. Like she's on the cover of this last issue, and she basically says like, "You good, Jameson?" And then she leaves. That's all she does.
She was just shoehorned in the issue, pretty much. That's all it was. So
yeah. I mean, the art was still very good. So
strongest,
still good.
Strongest part of the book for sure. The art.
Right. I like how Jameson has like 2 rows of teeth, sort of like he has a mustache.
Like a mustache of teeth.
Yeah.
I did think that was a very nice touch.
Yeah, and it was kind of interesting seeing him have a symbiote, even though it was kind of like a different look. But
father like son, or like son like father, I guess.
Right, yeah. And now Carnage can hunt down Jameson.
And then, of course he didn't die, so that whole little bite thing at the end wasn't really that dramatic. So.
Well, of course, like we knew that already, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
not killing Jameson in this tie-in.
Yeah. So
my
complaint. Yeah. So my complaint in the last podcast, or like 2 podcasts ago, was that they were kind of wasting Miles having a symbiote. But I don't know, like after reading this one, I really like the look. I wasn't impressed by the original, like Venomized sort of, like weird look. But I like this more toned down 8 arms, or like 6 arm look. So I like the design. Yeah.
Overall, I do like the design. The eyes, I will say, I'm not the biggest fan of because it's reminiscent of the ASM 800 symbiote suit where they like go off the costume. I just think that's weird.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of feel the opposite because throughout the whole issue, it's like he pretty much just escapes the symbiote's mind control. He's able to break out of it. Now his he breaks out of it using his Venom Blast, and then all of a sudden. I don't know. It just at
he
the end
can
of the issue,
overrule the hive mind and just
it's like
my mind's in control.
It's like now he's in control of that suit, and I'm like, wait, what? He can.
I was just talking about purely in terms of looks of how it looked, but no, I'm 100% in agreement with you, and this is my biggest problem with the issue, and why it's probably my least favorite issue of this 3-issue mini. Just the fact that within the span of less than an hour, he goes from being controlled by the symbiote to getting the symbiote off them, to suddenly taking control of the symbiote. And it's just, where did this come from? Like, how is he doing this? It just seems really silly that he's able to do this.
Well, the thing is, too, is like, for me, I didn't really like the look, and he still hasn't, like, another pair of arms, and yeah, again, it does look almost similar to Black Spider-Man's costume from Amazing 700, and I don't know, it's just, I'm not feeling it for some reason, so.
I mean, well, I just like it personally, like, in comparison. Like, I did not like the original, like, with the teeth and, like, how like, wild it looks. But I like how toned down this one does. I think you may have changed your mind if you just had 2 arms. but I do like the 6-arm look. I mean, I think it's a good design. You know, it's simple. It's simple, like the first like Venom look, and I mean, I like it.
We may see it in an Absolute Carnage number 4. So let's see how
Which the issue
Ryan
says is on sale.
and it's not.
Someone didn't catch that. Someone did not
got
catch
delayed.
that. But yeah.
Editors!
Yeah.
But what I will say for this issue, at least, one good thing I did like from this is that when Miles went back to the shoe store and he saved the store manager, I guess, and I guess he gave him the pair of sneakers that he wanted from issue 1 as his rewards. At least that was nice to see.
Is that what that was? I thought it was a reference to Spider-Verse.
No,
Like
at issue 1, he was looking at the shoes that he wanted so bad, and then this issue, the store clerk hands it over to him, or he was going to give it to him as a reward for saving his life.
Yeah, like, come back and I'll give you these shoes.
So it's still a reference to Spider-Verse, but okay. I mean, that's cool.
I like the little callback,
yeah. But I will say, it also was weird how much like panel time Happy Dan got. The whole scene where Miles has to save him after he falls off, he gets kicked off the roof. So it's just, along with your complaint of that this series really didn't need to be a mini, just cut all that Happy Dan stuff. We could have easily fit this into one issue. Like, cut out the whole first issue, cut out the Happy Dan stuff, cut out Silver Sable appearing for no real reason. This definitely could have been one issue.
But you gotta sell more variant covers, dude. Come on.
One of our listeners says, Let's Talk Carnage says, Happy Dan solo win.
Happy Dan is so happy, though. So, come on.
Well, that dude.
He gets so happy when he wants to kill people. Yeah,
He's best buddies.
Yeah.
He's the
no kill or kill.
Like, I did see
some
comment earlier saying, would you guys like this better if this is Carnage pulling one over on Miles? If Miles says, all right, I'm in control, and then he goes to fight, Carnage is like, you're not really in control. Like, sort of how he's letting Norman take control.
Spoiler, that's not happening.
Oh, it's not happening, but would you guys like that if that happened?
I suppose, but I'm just expecting Miles to show up in issue 4. Just, everybody. Hey, I'm back. I'm back. Like, oh, that's cool.
Now has 6 arms to Venom Blast from.
Go read Absolute Carnage Miles Morales on sale now at your local comic book shop. You know, one of those. But yes, I liked it. I hope it sticks. I hope they do a more serious Venom Miles symbiote book, like in the main line sometime later. But yeah,
we'll be seeing that. I feel like Ahmed's got his hands full with a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, and I don't have a lot of faith after they did the one with Gwen Stacy, because that whole thing was messed up, and it's still messed up too. But yeah.
I was gonna say, what about you, Orion? What did you think?
I kind of feel the same way, where this could have been just one issue. I felt it dragged on a little too much. The first issue was, of course, really not necessary given Absolute Carnage number 2, right? Yeah, number 2. So, otherwise, I mean, the art was definitely compelling. I really liked it. I do like the new Miles, Carnageized Miles design. Of course, it's probably not going to last that long. Probably like maybe 1 or 2 more panels in Absolute Carnage number 4 before something happens.
And it'll most likely be the second print variant, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
If it gets a second print.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right. So with that, let's move on to our last issue, which is Amazing Spider-Man 31, which, again, I'm going to echo what I said about Amazing Spider-Man number 30, in that if you are following this book just for Absolute Carnage, you're probably not going to like this tie-in as much, because it, again, focuses a lot on stuff from Peter's past, with Norman Osborn, Harry Osborn, and Gwen Stacy and all that. And it also focuses on the... wow, I'm really blanking up. I'm blanking on his name right now. What's the
Kindred.
villain? I'm sorry, what was that?
Kindred.
Kindred. Yes.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
focuses on that kind of story more, and we just get a bit of a fight scene between Carnageized Norman Osborn and Spider-Man, with Spider-Man trying to protect the boys.
The boys.
The boys.
Yeah,
I mean-
this issue. Yeah, so
go
this
ahead.
issue actually says that Absolute Carnage 4 is on sale next week. So, thought that was funny. But yeah, you go ahead, Tyler, because you have a lot more to say about this. than
I was
do.
about to say,
Yeah.
like, generally, I think we're going to be saying very similar things this issue because it is just like part 2 of what just of the last issue. So it's if you are enjoying Spencer's ASM run, I think you will continue with. I think you'll really love this issue, like I did. I've been loving Spencer's run, and so I really like that he's not sacrificing his story for this tie-in, and he's just using it to tie in with what he's doing. And just that we can keep this going. I mean, granted, while I would like to see some of the stuff from those videos, maybe would have been cool to see. I just really love what they're doing with Kindred.
Oh yeah,
And so, like Orion said,
speaking of those videos, are we done with them?
I think there's.
Who knows?
I would expect 2 more for the other issues of Absolute Carnage because they've come out like the day of or the day after an Absolute Carnage episode, or like a comic. Sorry. So I'd expect 2 more, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but as you were saying,
But I think we can all at the very least, agree that holy crap, Ryan Otley is so good at drawing symbiote stuff.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah,
And the visceral fights, just like Peter like ripping the symbiote off Norman's face and like slamming him right in the, it's like so good.
Well, what I did like is that they gave a little more context of what happened in the past about, during Harry's time when he was mentally sick, having that sickness, Gwen.
Those pills, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like, again, the artwork, I really actually did enjoy in this. And, just seeing Peter, how he was reminded how Norman was blaming Peter, telling him to get out, telling him to leave his son alone. And then, he's just remembering all the bad memories back then. And he just realized that he has to protect Normie and Dylan. And, the fight scene was great. Like, I just loved how he was able to muster the strength to overpower Norman. So that was pretty good.
Though I don't think we can give Peter completely this win on his own because Norman had defeated him, and he was about to deliver the killing blow, basically. But thanks to our old pal Kindred, a little centipede in his ear.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So I guess that was there the whole time. So I guess,
Yeah. Apparently, like unknown to Carnage, there's been a little centipede bug in his head this whole time.
But he also sends larva bugs in folks' brains too, don't he? So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's just making me wonder. It's just making me wonder, like, who really is Kindred? Like, that's something I really want to find out. Hopefully soon.
I did find it interesting that, well, first off, I'll say maybe 2 people at this point. There's either my theory of that I've been going for a while with it's part of Peter's soul that Mephisto got in the deal, or it's going to be Harry from before One More Day when he originally died. This issue definitely leaned a bit more into Harry, especially with the flashbacks. But personally, I think it's a bit of a red herring. It seems so obvious that it's Harry now that I just can't see it being.
Wait, hang on. I just something I'm gonna bring up something. Didn't when Norman got up, did he say "I'm proud of you"?
Yes.
Something like that.
Oh, that was at the end, I believe.
At the very end, yeah. Because I kind of like that where he's like, Cletus Norman, he was confused, he thinks he's Cletus. And then, like, at the very end, he's like, you know what? I actually do have Norman as one of these voices in my head. Like, the real Norman came out for a little bit to talk to him. And so, he's like, about his legacy and whatnot. And while you might think that would point to Harry, there has been times, like in the Mackie Byrne era and in Spectacular, when Norman was talking about Peter as his heir, basically.
I'm telling you guys, it's still Gwen Stacy, because his, I'm telling you, the legacy is the twins, bringing them back.
They're
God.
not bringing back the twins. We saw
Grey
last time we
Goblins,
saw
bring 'em back.
Gabriel Stacy was an American son, and we're not seeing. Marvel does not want to touch that ever again.
How about they just retcon it and save us all the misery, please?
They were
But
clones.
so I did enjoy it mostly for the art because I'm not a huge fan of the Osborn stuff. I of course would have liked to see him draw more Venom. I would have liked to see Peter actually fight Cletus and them having like a confrontation, because you could do a whole lot with him saying, "Oh, so like your name is Peter, huh? Well, blah 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 blah." But they could have done more with that. I feel like in the context of the actual story, like we've been saying, it's not going to amount to much. Like I'm assuming at the end of 4, Spider-Man runs off. Like Venom says, "Hey, like you go watch the kids," and then they fight with
Get the kids to safety.
Norman for like a few minutes. Yeah. And then I don't think Norman's down for the count, so I think issue 4 is just going to be them continuing to fight. But for the
I'm curious
series,
what's going
good,
to happen,
but,
because wasn't issue 4 originally supposed to be the end?
Yeah.
Yes, which is why I think it got pushed back and they're rewriting it. And 5, I think. But yeah.
We'll definitely have to see what goes on there. But also, I have to mention and we got a Flash sighting.
Still dead.
Still dead though.
Yeah, it's funny because on that same page it says Gwen and Flash, and they were both killed by Norman Osborn. Woo! Oh my God!
Now I would say, moving forward with Amazing Spider-Man and symbiote appearances, I would love to see, next time we see anything symbiote related in Amazing Spider-Man would be another classic Venom and Spider-Man team up against something that's not symbiote related whatsoever.
Venom Inc.
Forget about Venom Inc. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean
that
this
still
was a
counts,
good idea
right?
for these last two were sort of a good idea. It's kind of symbiote related, but it's not really, because it's more about Spider-Man and Norman, and I think that's what fans want. I mean, I feel like fans kind of like Spider-Man was in the first issue, said, "I just hate all of this symbiote stuff." I just have this feeling that Spider-Man fans don't want to see these like every 5 issues, like, "Oh, there's another symbiote threat happening." I'd like for them to have like a classic, like a team up of like Spider-Man and Venom, but I think that all is just going to happen in other books, like like in Scream #1. That's going to happen. We know for sure, but I don't know. I just don't see it happening in Amazing Spider-Man for like a long time.
Well,
Unfortunately.
Both Nick Spencer and Donny Cates definitely seem to be doing their own things, and they don't really seem to want to get interrupted that much.
Yeah.
I do think seeing like a team up with Venom or something in ASM that's not against a symbiotic threat or something would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like especially now that Absolute Carnage has sort of established that they're good again. They're but they're tolerating each other again. And he knows he's Peter.
Spider-Man's still a menace, but yes.
Yes.
And they both got a friend in Flash, so give us Return of Flash story time where Venom comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess I'm guessing Eddie will be kind of happy that he saved his son, so there's more of that. But yes,
Carnage tearing down that door.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty. It reminded me of like a Here's Johnny scene.
Well, and also too, we're also getting that Amazing Spider-Man and Venom little spin-off comic coming up. Really cute.
Guru
Double Trouble.
Yeah, Double Trouble.
Yes, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still wondering if it's the symbiote swapping brains, if it's Eddie.
I'm telling you, I really think it's a kid-focused issue, and it's just going to treat them as one beat. That's what it's going to do.
But yeah, but like issue 1 or 2 is like doesn't say because Venom swaps with Spider-Man, so they go back to weightlifting, and that's more of an Eddie Brock thing, like going into weightlifting. I don't know. I don't know. It sounds like fun. That sounds
Yeah,
like fun.
because Flash can't. Flash doesn't really do much weightlifting. He used to do leg day, but we all know how that ended.
That's ableist.
Bruh.
That's ableist.
All right. Well, I think that's a good point to put a pin in today's episode. Listen in next week as we review Absolute Carnage number 4, Absolute Carnage Scream number 3, Absolute Carnage vs. Deadpool number 3, and Absolute Carnage Avengers number 1.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
My wallet.
That's a lot of books.
My frickin' wallet.
Yep, big week. So you can listen to We Are Venomaniacs on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Music and iTunes, Google Play Music, and YouTube. We can also be found on Twitter at WAV_podcast. Check out our Discord server and become a member of the audience during our next live recording of We Are Venomaniacs. Join us, won't you? As always, thanks to my fellow co-hosts Carlos, Tyler, and Aaron for joining me today.
No
Thanks for
problem.
listening, guys.
Thanks for being here.
And thanks to the Venom site for permitting us to make this podcast under the TVS banner, and all of your generous support. And finally, thank you, loyal listeners and fellow Venomaniacs. You guys make an awesome community, and it's an honor to be your voice on the airwaves. Together, we are Venomaniacs. And now, a word from one of our partners at The Collective, a network of superhero podcasts.
Hi, this is Chris,
And this is Brian.
and we are the hosts of Inner Demons, the Ghost Rider podcast.
And you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and other podcast apps for all your Ghost Rider needs.
Ride on.